Welcome to Morning Show. This is Barry with Yanni. On behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center, I'm Tom Springs, coming to you from Cozumel. Visit us online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook to check out the schedule of daily classes available online, details on when you can practice in person with us if you're in Palm Springs, not with us because we're in Cozumel, but other teachers in Palm Springs. And also online, there is a tip jar where you can make contributions to support our classes. And today, we're going to go with the theme of ingredients. We've been doing some cooking and talking about a lot of that and how we can use the same components of a practice in different ways, sort of like when you're cooking, you use different ingredients in different ways. So starting out differently, which is where we traditionally end a practice. There's no reason we can't once in a while, as a change of pace, start with this posture. So the traditional corpse pose is to lie down, let your feet splay open, let your hands rest at your sides, out past your hips. Of course, if this isn't comfortable, you can just come to a position that is comfortable for you, something passive and recline, whatever that might look like for you if corpse pose isn't comfortable today. Sometimes it doesn't feel good in your lower back to be lying flat, so you could instead plant the soles of your feet and let your knees lean in towards each other. That's one option. You might bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees splay apart, maybe with props under the outside of your knees to take the weight of your legs and make the posture more passive. As you settle into your comfortable stillness, observe your breath. So allow it to get slower and deeper. As your body settles a little closer to the ground with each breath, taking in those movements, the way your contact with the ground changes as you breathe, the way the movements of breath feel in your body. So while Shavasana may be very familiar, starting practice in this position might not be. A familiar ingredient used in a different way. Scan your body to take in whatever sensations are present for you. And sometimes we do this at the end of practice as well, kind of assess what has changed during practice. We can do this again at the conclusion of practice and compare our notes. Making particular note now of anything that doesn't feel so good so that you can keep it in mind as you practice. Remembering as always that you can shift or modify whatever you might need to. And whenever your attention is drawn away from observing your body and your breathing during practice, just gently redirect and bring your attention back inward. And let's see today if we can't just be a little more engaged in our beginner's mind in looking at each practice, each posture, each movement as if it were new. And maybe feeling, seeing, learning something different, even while doing maybe something that's familiar. If you love to cook as we do, and you love to explore different recipes or just come up with your own things, experimenting, then you know this process of discovery, of trying different things out, learning what works for you and what doesn't. Sometimes what sounds better, but it might not be good, turns out to be really nice. The perspective of just remaining open-minded, being receptive to newness, makes it easier to learn. The more we think we know, the less likely we are to learn something. Kind of at the core of the notion of beginner's mind. Something, so there's always another to try out, even on something very familiar. Let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths before we begin to move around. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sigh. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. Bend your arms and legs. Maybe turn your head side to side a bit. Draw your knees towards your chest. Inhale, extend your arms and legs all the way out. And exhale, curl up in the ball again. And repeat for a few more breaths. Just follow the pace of your own breathing. Or off will, when starting a practice, recline includes spinal twist. And even more often, includes spinal twist from recline posture near the end of practice. Generally, I would save deeper twists for later in the practice. Today, let's try the deeper twists early in the practice. So plant your feet, soles of your feet on the mat with your shoulders close to your butt as they'll go. Now let's try a deeper twist. Cross your right knee over your left knee. And if you can't do that, it's okay. Cross your right ankle over your left knee instead. Bring your arms out to the side. Bend your elbows if there's not enough room to extend your arms. See if you can keep your shoulders grounded, but your legs fall to the left and turn your head to the right. Slowly come back to center and switch the cross of your legs. Left knee over right knee, left ankle over right knee if crossing knees doesn't work for you today. Let your legs go to the right and turn your head to the left. Bring it all back to center and uncross your legs. Draw your knees towards your chest, hug your knees. Rock side to side or roll one circle for a few breaths. Now let's start to sit up. Two ways to get there. You could tip onto one side, press your hands around to put yourself up, or you could hold your legs and rock back and forth, rolling your spine along your mat. We'll all meet sitting up. Drink whenever you need to. Water is the most important ingredient. Find nice, comfortable grounding contact. You don't have to sit just like this. Sit so that you're comfortable. Bring your hands to the sides and rest your fingertips on the ground. Staying long in the spine. Inhale, reach your right arm up on the side here. As you exhale, let your arm drape over your head so your fingertips come to rest by your left ear. Then let the weight of your arm draw your head over to the right. If you like, lift your left hand a little and reach out through your fingertips. Let your left hand down a pace. Let your neck remain passive. Let your right hand slide across your head, then come down to your cheek. Use your arm to move your head back to center. And let your left hand down. Inhale, raise your right arm. Exhaling, let it drape across. Gently draw your head to the left. And if you like, lift and extend through your right hand. Let your right hand down if it's raised. With your neck remaining passive, let your left hand slide over and down and nudge your head back to center. Let your left hand down. Bring your hands to your knees. Inhale, draw your heart forward, let your head tip back. Exhale, draw your heart back, let your head tip forward. Follow your own breath. Usually after those side bends, we would do seated twist. Switching up the order of the ingredients. This is another familiar movement that we do from seated as we warm up. You're just getting curious about what difference it makes when we change the sequence. Ask yourself what difference it makes. How does it feel? And there are no wrong answers to these questions. It's more about the inquiry much of the time than about the answer. Maybe the answer is, I don't know. I can't tell. After your next exhale, sit up tall again. And now we'll see about seated twist. Bring your left hand to the ground behind you, your right hand to your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up, and exhale, see about twisting some more. Exploring that dynamic with each breath to find the amount of twist that feels helpful. Inviting your body to go deeper, never forcing. And again, asking, does it feel different when it's in this different order than what we're used to? Let yourself unwind. Bring your right hand behind you and your left hand across. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist them. Brought your left hand across and then brought your right hand behind it. Sometimes we get sort of stuck. We get a little too comfortable with doing things the same way. And there's nothing wrong with familiarity. There's nothing wrong with comfort. But like anything else, we can overdo it. Back to center. I like the imagery of grooves. We talk about getting in the groove, like tires going down the same track, making grooves. Over time, grooves can become deeper than you want, and then they become ruts, and then you can get stuck. So it's nice to get out of the grooves sometimes. Let's get out of the sitting groove and come up onto our hands and knees. Bring your knees above your hips and your shoulders above your wrist. Inhale, reach your left arm out to the side with your palm down. I bet you thought I was until you to extend your leg, because we usually do the leg and then the arm. With your next inhale, reach your right foot back and press the ball of your foot against the floor. If you want to go further, with your next inhale, pick your right foot up, reach straight back in the air, through the ball of your foot. If you want to try to go deeper, you can bend your knee, reach your hand back. And if you can connect with your foot, kick against your hand, lift your chin and your knee. Release and lower down. Did that feel different? Maybe it just felt weird. Did it feel better? Did you like it better the familiar way? Inhale, reach your right arm to the side. With the next inhale, reach your left foot back, press into the ball of your foot. Go further if you like. The next inhale, lift your left foot and reach straight back. To go further if you like, bend your knee, reach back, see about taking the bind. Then release and lower down. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, bring your heart up, let your head and tailbone come down. Continue for a few more breaths. Often we would do this before those extensions and binds, or between one side and the other. Today we mix it up. Just 2,000 cats after doing both sets of extensions and binds. Connecting and exhale, come back to table with your spine sort of parallel to the ground. Step your right foot up between your hands if you like. You can bring blocks under your hands to make that easier. And step your left up to meet your right. Hang out in your forward fold, swaying back and forth, bending one leg and then the other. Maybe you keep blocks under your hands. Maybe you let your hands hang in the air or drag on the ground, exploring whatever kind and degree of movement helps you find length in the back of the body. Maybe you feel the stretching more in the legs, maybe it's in the lower back or upper back. Breathing into sensation wherever it's most present. Well, your head. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, back down. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Interlace your fingers and reach your palms up. Look up at your hands, lift up your heart. Inhale to bring yourself upright. Exhale to bend to your right, feeling the length through both arms. Inhale to come up. Exhale to bend to the left. Inhale to come up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Lift your left shoulder towards your ear. Shift it back and let it down. Then right shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach up to the side. Exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself, or if you like, come to eagle arm. If you're an eagle, then you can move your elbows and your hands forward and up. Inhale, open your arms as you exhale, cross them the other way. Inhale, open up. Exhale, let your arms down. Time for me to have a sip of water. And so far, maybe we haven't done anything unfamiliar. These are all things that I often include in morning flow class. Let's mix it up and add in a different ingredient, something less familiar, maybe something brand new to you. Standing supported heart opener, a variation on camel. Camel is what we do on our knees, that actually the full traditional version of camel pose, I'm not very great at, not that great at, I should say. The standing version focuses more on the heart opening and reduces the challenge level in the lower body, really. So I'm just giving a side view. You're gonna bring your hands to your lower back now. Actually, I'll give this view. You might just have your hands like this, as if you're putting your fingers in back pockets. You probably don't have back pockets. Most yoga poses don't. If you can get a nice hand and forearm and wrist stretch here by pointing your fingertips up and pressing like that. If that feels like too much, just turn your hands around. So then we're gonna go like this. We're gonna use the breath to come into the movement, to posture more deeply. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your chin. Exhale, relax against your hands. Inhale, look up a little more. Exhale, relax back. And maybe that's the furthest you're gonna go. Maybe a couple more breaths. You find a little more heart opening, throat opening. Inhaling, slowly come upright. Exhale, release your hands. Now, if they went a little numb, shake them out. My friend Liza calls it starfish dance party. Especially if you have your fingers pointing up and you have all that pressure on your hands, it can create some funny sensation in the hands and wrist. Sure. Have a little massage. All right, we're going to start into some sun salutations, and I'm going to do some non-traditional transitions. So the same postures, but some different movement in some of the transitions. So just to speak to it ahead of time, and you're welcome to do it whatever way works for you. Usually in a sun salutation, we'll go from forward fold to plank by stepping the feet back. And we'll go from downward dog to forward fold. I started varying this up early on in the Zoom era, and it was because of camera placement. I found that if I went from forward fold to plank by walking my hands forward and went from downward dog to forward fold by walking my hands back, I was able to give a taller full body view to the camera. So you can do either transition. You can switch, alternate from one sun salutation to the next and see how that feels. So whatever works for you. Familiar sequence with the option of, let's say, spicing it up, right? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift, halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Make your plank. So see, even with the cueing, there's variety, sort of more open wording, allowing for either version. And sure, you can also mix it up by having blocks under your hands throughout the sequence. That makes it a different feeling. Exhale, lower, halfway or all the way, your choice. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Exhale, back and up to down dog. It's also always okay, in case anyone forgot, to be behind me or ahead of me, to go a little slower or a little faster, spend a little longer in a certain posture or transition. Pedal your feet up and down in a downward dog. There's a nice familiar component that's helpful for lengthening the back of the body, particularly the backs of the legs. Inhale, bend your knees, look up towards your hands, and make your way to forward fold. You choose. Do you want to step your feet forward or walk your hands back? Inhale, lift, halfway. Exhale, fold, all the way up. Exhale, hand. It's also okay, in case anyone didn't know, when you inhale, reach your arms up, you can go out to the sides or you can go forward. Sometimes that's a question of how close is the wall, the furniture, or the next person. Inhale. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up partway. Exhale, fold down. Make your way to your plank. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, bring your heart forward, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, rock back and up to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, make your way to forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And maybe you're doing less than I'm doing. Maybe you're doing more than I'm doing. It's all fine. We all have our own recipes, our own taste, our own needs. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale down. Make your way to your plank. Exhaling lower. Inhaling, bring your heart forward. Exhale, back and up. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Make your way to forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do a couple more just to allow room for, if you like, some more variation. Maybe something completely new to you. Inhale up. Exhale down. Yes, I'm letting you anticipate because it's fun. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Make your way to plank. And then here's the option for a new challenge if you want. From your plank, lift your right foot, just a little. And then see if you can lower down with the foot raise. And bring your heart forward, keeping the foot raised, if that works for you. Now, inhale, bend your knees forward, make your way to forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more, so if you did try the three-pointed plank with a foot raise, you can try the other foot raise now. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, lift part way up. Exhale down. Make your way to plank. And if you like, lift the other foot. Exhale, lower, keeping the foot raised if you can. Inhale, bring your heart forward, keep the foot raised if you can. And put it down. Exhale, back and up to downward dog. Big three cleansing breath. Let your knees down and make your way to child's pose. Vary it however you like. See what your body needs. A more active pose, stretching further, or a more passive child's pose, disengaging. Depending on how you're feeling, what's going on in your body, what your energy level is, either engaging more or engaging less may help you settle more deeply into the pose. There's no one size fits all. There's no one right answer. Slowly make your way from toes to the table, up onto your hands and knees. Curl your toes under, press into your feet to lift your knees, press into your hands and lift your tail. This is the last downward dog. There's some good news. Walk your hands back to your feet. Maybe you've been doing that all along, or maybe that's the first time today you did that. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. I'm going to pause for a drink. We're going to play with a couple of balance poses, tree and warrior three. They're both pretty familiar, pretty common in a lot of flow classes. And generally what's done is we'll do tree on one leg, then tree on the other, warrior three on one leg, then warrior three on the other. I found a fun way to mix it a while ago, which is do tree on one leg, then warrior three on the other, then tree on the alternate leg, warrior three on the other. So maybe that's new, maybe not. If you like to, you can have a piece of furniture or a wall nearby to reach out to for support as we got into playing with balance poses. So starting with your hands at your heart, shift your weight from one leg to the other, feet planted. Let the weight come into your left leg. Let that knee stay soft. Slowly raise your right knee. Like opening a gate, bring your knee out to the side, and then bring your foot to your leg. You might have toes on the ground, heel on your ankle. You might have the sole of your foot on your calf, or maybe on your thigh, never on the side of the knee. And always move. Cooking, right? Doesn't take as long to start over with tree as it does 40 minutes into a recipe. But your hands can stay here, or the branches of your tree can go anywhere you like. And make sure you're breathing, because that's an important ingredient for tree, regardless of movement or shape. All the trees need. Now, instead of just coming out of tree, shaking and going to the tree pose, you have to come to warrior three like this. I think it's a very fun transition. Bring your hands to your heart, pivot your knee forward, reach that right foot forward. You're gonna tip in slow motion from the left foot onto the right foot and reach the left foot up and back. So picture your body parallel to the floor, reaching the sole of your left foot away from the crown of your head. You could bring your hands to blocks, reach out for that piece of furniture or nearby wall. You can keep one or both hands at your heart. You can reach one or both hands back towards the hips, out towards the side, or out in front. Or maybe think of some other variation. You can bring your arms behind your back and play the bind. And here too, you can start over anytime. You can always drop the foot and pop back up from a lunge into your warrior three, or bringing your hands onto your blocks and just lifting your foot. Exhale, lower your foot. Inhale, stand, and shake things out. And maybe grab a drink. There's that key water ingredient. It's pretty hot and humid here today. It is very windy. And the tree fell down. He's gonna stay on the ground. Bring your hands to your heart. Shift your weight from one leg to the other. Then when you're ready, bring the weight to your right leg. Take your time to lift your left knee and bring it out to the side, and bring your left foot to your right leg. Whatever position works for you on this side today. And whatever you might like today. Maybe it's the same one you did on the other side, maybe it's different. Bring your hands back to your heart. Bring your knee forward. Reach your foot forward. And slowly and gently tip onto your left foot. Raise your foot. Reach back as if to make a footprint on the wall back there. And take whatever expression works for you with your hands in your arms, whatever amount of support you might want. Stay with your breath. shake as needed. Come down, feet on the ground. Bring the soles of your feet together. Leave a big space between your pelvis and your heels. Reach under or over your ankles and walk your hands forward on your mat. Make a pretzel shape. Breathe into the center of your lower back. Inhale, slowly stand yourself up. Use your hands, nudge your knees towards each other. Extend your legs forward and flex your feet back. Now there we skip the familiar ingredient. There's usually another fold we do after that, one with the feet together, a second one with the feet together. We're skipping it today. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Let your knees bend if they want to. If your breath deepens the fold. On the inhale, think of the crown of your head coming forward. On the exhale, think of lowering some more. Add new ingredients can be helpful. Sometimes changing the order of familiar components, but sometimes taking something out can also lead to some insight. Maybe you're glad you didn't do the second fold with the feet together, but maybe you're missing it. Inhale. Hands up. Arms, nudge your leg open. Walk your hands down your legs as far as you can. Pardon me. I wish I could reach my water right now. Bring your right hand over by your left hand and take a couple breaths. Reach your left arm to the side, turn your head to look towards your hand. Turn your thumb down towards the floor. Reach the back of your hand towards your right hip and draw your left shoulder back. Extend your arm. Bring your left hand back over to your right hand. Bring your right hand back over to your right foot or right leg. Bring your left hand to your right hand. Reach your right arm out, turn your head to the right. Turn your thumb down, reach towards your left hip and draw your right shoulder back. Extend your arm. Bring your right hand back to your left hand. Bring your left hand back to your left leg, your left foot. Walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Use your arms to nudge your legs towards each other. We're going to come down onto our backs and set up for bridge. Have your blocks within reach if you've got blocks. You don't have to have them. You want to come down onto your back with your feet as close to your butt as they can go. Soles of the feet planted, heels towards your butt. If you like, you can put a block between your knees on the middle position to set your knees about this width apart. Press into the soles of your feet and now lift your hips up. Take your other block, put it under your sacrum and come down to rest on top of it. If you don't have blocks at home, you could use folded blankets or towels, or rolled blankets or towels, a bolster, throw pillow, bed pillow, a rolled up yoga mat, a foam roller, lots of things. Think of your breath moving through the block. The supported bridge can be entirely passive with your feet resting on the floor, or you can play with different leg positions as your lower back is supported by the block. So maybe you enjoy stillness, maybe you enjoy exploring movement and trying different variations. Now, if you feel like spicing practice up some more today, we can use supported bridge entry point to exploring a shoulder stand. So usually we'd come out by lifting up and moving the block out of the way. We're going to leave the block there as we go on to the next thing. If you really want to, you could move it out of the way. So press into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up, bring your hands to your lower back. Oh, you can remove the block from between your knees. It's not going to be helpful. So we can come into shoulder stand by lifting one leg and maybe the other. See how we do. With the arms supporting the lower back. Reaching the feet up. I end up with my hands on my hips instead of my lower back, and that's okay. So mostly bringing weight to my shoulders. Most inversion, maybe you play with reaching back towards the pile, opening the legs. Maybe you're not enjoying shoulder stand, you come out. When you want to come out, if your block is still there, just come down slowly so you don't bang your back. onto the block, or maybe as you come up, you move it out of the way. Hug your knees to your chest, rock and roll to massage your back against the ground. Now, whether you play with shoulder stand or not, you could take happy baby pose, reach your feet up, reach your hands up to grab your legs and feet, slowly bending and straightening your limbs. One last sequence change. Usually this is the last thing before Shavasana. This is the day between between happy baby and Shavasana. We will do our twist. Now we did deep twists earlier with the knees crossed. We did the simple chest twist, 2 times twist. With your knees towards your chest, reach your arms to the side. Let your legs fall to the left and turn your head to the right, keeping your shoulders grounded. Don't worry about how far your legs go. And the closer your knees are to your chest, the deeper the twist feels. So you can regulate that sensation by changing the position of your legs. Slowly bring your head and your knees back through center and just let the movement continue, carry you into your other twist. Come back up to center and make your way to Shavasana. And it's like at the start of corpse pose, Shavasana, or any resting pose that's comfortable for you. Corpse pose is not so for today. Or even if you just want to change it up for some other reason, find your comfortable stillness. And maybe as you become still and your breath gets deeper and slower, you reflect on this notion of ingredients, adding or omitting things, changing order and amount. Maybe you just focus on your breath. And maybe you let your mind drift like clouds on the breeze, not coming and going. Start to take some deeper breaths. Let yourself move around bit by bit. Maybe you change the order of how you start moving. Maybe you tend to do the same movement. And it's okay if you do it. Maybe you try. Do things quickly for counseling. Taking the time whenever you're ready for the bigger movement. Gently put yourself in. Bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for sharing practice today. The light within you, and obviously the light within each of you. Namaste.